got a comment by Stanislav on the last video. He said I've forgotten to add an automatic tree farm to have the tests. So he was absolutely right. That's something we can do now. And I made an automatic tree farm as well, which also needs to be supplied with some bone meal. So that's the part here on the right. In order to make an automatic tree farm, of course, we had to add the mechanic that saplings be placed by a dispenser. That's something we didn't have before because I thought that's maybe a bit OP.
here in this video, but the rules at your meet might be a little bit different than the ones that I talk about here in federations. So pay attention at the rules, ask the judges if you have any questions. That's what they're there for, to answer your questions, to help you have the best day of your life. In the squat, typically you're going to have two commands, a squat command and a rack command. The squat command is going to be after you unrack the weight, walk it out or unrack it for the mono, and show that you have control of the weight. And usually if you kind of bring your head up and acknowledge the judge, you'll then get a squat command. There, the lift starts. There's no up command. I repeat, there is no up command. You just squat on your own. And then you have to show control at the top once the squat is complete. And then you'll get a rack command. And the spotters are allowed to help you back into the rack. But there's two commands in the squat. Squat and rack. In the bench press, again, this will vary by federation, but at most you're going to have three commands. You're going to get a start, press, and rack command. Start command is going to happen after you take the bar to the rack and control it at arm's length, fully locked out. You bring the bar down to your chest. The bar is motionless on your chest. You'll get a press command. Press commands are going to vary a little bit by federation, but the more quickly that you can bring the bar to a total stop on your chest, you'll get that press command. Finally, after you complete the press, you hold the bar and show control at the top. Again, fully locked out. You will get a rack command and then bring the bar back into the rack right there. Even me, at my first powerlifting meet, I jumped the rack command on my first attempt. Luckily, I actually met the rack command. I was racking the bar with no thought to the rack command. It just so happened that he basically said it at the exact same time that I began racking it, so I got a little bit lucky. But no, everyone messes up the commands here and there, but focus on them, practice them, take your last warm-up with the full commands. In the bench press, depending on the federation you compete in, you may have a different situation with the lift-off. In some federations, your buddy, your training partner, your coach can come in, give you the lift-off. In the USAPL, you're normally going to have a designated lift-off person who does handoffs for everyone throughout the meet. If that's the case, just make sure to communicate with them clearly how you count down before you want the bar and rack, how you want your handoff. Just be clear and concise about that. They're there to help you out. The deadlift commands, pretty simple. Hold the deadlift, hold it at lockout until the head judge gives you a down command, then control the bar to the floor. You don't need to set it down like you're, as lightly as possible, but you have to control the bar. You have to keep your hands on the bar all the way to the floor. You definitely don't want to miss a deadlift because you end up dropping the bar even though you were able to hold onto it. So get the down command, control the bar to the floor. In regards to eating and drinking throughout the meet, depending on the federation, the size of the meet, your session is probably going to last anywhere from, on the short end, 3 hours. I've had meets where I pulled my last deadlift to the meet close to 10 or 11 hours after I began warming up for the squat. So yeah, sort of take that into account, but USPA, USAPL tend to run very strict, quick-paced meets. So on those, you'll probably be looking at 3, maybe on the long end, 5 hours to complete the meet. So you're going to want to take in some more calories and definitely some more hydration throughout the day. Similar types of foods that we talked about eating post-weigh-in, or what you're going to want to stay eating and drinking throughout the day. Again, that's simple, easy to digest carbs that are going to give you fast energy. You don't want heavy foods sitting in your stomach. You want that glucose getting out into the bloodstream, providing you energy to complete your max lifts. Hydrating with water, Gatorade, Pedialyte, coconut water, Grind Sports Nutrition Drive. All good options for intra-meet hydration. Again, you don't need to be gorging yourself. You're only doing 9 reps that matter. So don't go eating way more than you normally would before training or during a long, hard training session, because you don't want to feel heavy, especially for the deadlift, because you don't want to become a viral video of projectile vomiting onto the head judge. So we've talked about how to warm up for the squat. Warming up for the bench and deadlift might differ a little bit from how you warm up for the squat or how you may regularly warm up during training. Unless you train all 3 lifts during the course of a regular training session, the strategy can change a little bit. The warm-ups for the bench and the deadlift are generally shorter than the warm-up for the squat, because the warm-up for the squat is also just the general warm-up for the day. In the bench press, of course, the warm-up could be shorter because unless you bench and squat the same, which hopefully you don't, the bench press weights are just lighter, so it won't take as many sets to get ready for your opener. Again, you want to take at least 1 warm-up set with the full set of commands, just so you can practice that and be ready, and should take away a little bit of nerves as you get on the platform. An example warm-up for an athlete looking to open with a 110 kilo bench press, 242 pounds, might be the bar for 15 to 20 reps. I like to go through various different grips during my warm-up there just to get a nice full range of motion. Then might go to 40 kilos or 95 pounds for a set of 5. Then maybe jump to 60 kilos or 135 pounds for another set of 3 to 5. Then go to 80, 85 kilos, 185 pounds for a set of 2 to 3. Then to 92.5 kilos or 205 pounds for 1 or 2 reps. And then finally 100 or 102 kilos or 225 pounds for 1 single with the commands. That would be an example for someone looking to open about 110 kilos, 242 pounds. In the deadlift, much shorter warm-ups that you'd use in training are generally appropriate. Because you've already squatted and benched for the day, your body, your nervous system is warm. So all you need to do with the deadlift is really warm up the specific movement, and you don't want to be taking away energy. Powerlifting meet can be a long day. It can be pretty exhausting. So you don't want to waste energy in the warm-up room that you could be using on the platform. So I usually condense a deadlift warm-up much more in competition than what I would do regularly in training. We have someone who's looking to open their deadlift to about 180 kilos, 396 pounds. A warm-up that I would suggest would be 60 kilos or 135 pounds with one plate for 3 to 5 reps. If you feel like you need extra sets to be able to get into effective positions, do them at that very light weight so you're not tiring yourself out. So if you do multiple sets of 3 to 5 with 135 pounds on the bar, that's fine. From there, they'd want to jump up to maybe 100 kilos, 225 pounds, do a set of 2 or 3 there, and beyond that, it's just going to be singles. If you're looking to open at 180 kilos, 396 pounds, a good jump from 100 or 225 would be up to maybe 130 kilos or 295 pounds, and then you go up 160 kilos, 350 pounds, that range for another single, and then go ahead and take your opening attempt in the deadlift. Now we're on to picking your next attempts. We talked about how to select your openers, but once the opener is done, what do you do for your second and third attempts? First off, if you miss a lift on a technicality, jump the rack command, jump the start command, drop the bar instead of controlling it down to the floor, repeat the same weight. It's your first meet, nerves might be getting to you, just repeat the same weight. It's not a big deal. Because you've never done a meet before, every lift you do is a PR, right? They're all meet PRs, those are the ones that count. So if you miss something because of a technicality, repeat the weight. If you miss a lift because you weren't strong enough, it was too heavy, repeat the weight. Too many times you see people missing and trying to go up. If you see more experienced lifters do that, they can do that because they're more experienced. But if you're missing either on a technicality or because you just weren't strong enough, repeat the same weight. For someone doing their first meet, I would have 2 numbers written down, 2 numbers planned out ahead of time for each second attempt and each third attempt. Basically a that felt heavy number or that felt good how I expected type of number. If the weight feels heavy, heavier than expected, not like it was a complete 10 RPE absolute grinder, if that's the case, you could skip the next attempt. But assuming it just felt a little bit heavier than you'd expect, say a 2 to 4% jump. 2 to 4% jump from opener to second attempt or second attempt to third attempt would be appropriate. If it felt good, it felt as expected, you feel strong that day, say a 3 to 6% jump. So again, we're opening in the 90 to 93% range. So if you're taking those smaller jumps, maybe you go 91%, 94%, 98% compared to what you've done in the gym. If you're feeling really strong that day, you go maybe 91%, 96%, and then go for a small PR of 101 or 102% on your third attempt. But again, have a plan. Have a plan for if things don't feel great, have a plan for if you feel really strong that day. And here are just some tips for handling the day. The first tip I can give is stay calm. Don't panic. It's just lifting. If you miss a lift on a technicality, yeah, that kind of sucks, but the world's going to go on. You're going to have another attempt. Even if it was your third attempt, you're going to have another meet where you can make it up. So don't panic. Stay calm throughout the day. Most important tip I can give you is control what you can control and don't worry about what you can't. The tips we've given you here should have you much better prepared. Like I said, making lists, predetermining a plan is going to be very important. The more lists and plans you can have written out, those are all going to be your friend, so you can go into the day as prepared as possible. And the things that you can't control, like if it's hot out, if it's cold, if someone was a jerk in the warm-up room, even if you get a bad call or something like that, just let it slide. Only worry about yourself. Make sure you bring all the right equipment, the right food, you have your plan, you focus on the demands, and that's going to help you have a successful, fun day for your first meet. Finally, as you're choosing attempts throughout the day, take what the day gives you. Of course, everyone would love to go in on their first meet, 9 for 9, PRs across the board, but that might just not be realistic. Whether it's nerves or a problem with the training plan, whatever it is, you might not get to take the attempt.
How much does he have? Oh, that's good strong chest. I guess I'll win this game. Give me the helmet. Give me the... Dude. Oh. That person just like got one hit and then went to AFK. It's weird. I think your main goal should be to get like tons of kills so the games go faster. If we both get a lot of kills, it goes like really fast. I was playing with I don't know, some other high win person, and we were doing the split wins thing with TNT, and the games were like so fast.
Yeah.
Like if two good players are killing everyone, it's like 30% faster. Like 1.5 times as fast, maybe.
Okay. I was playing more conservatively so you get more XP, but
Yeah, but for every kill you get, the game gets faster, right? And if the games are faster, then we get XP faster. So who knows which is like in total better? Like how much XP do you think you could steal from it? Also, what's the point of you being in the game if you don't get kills?
fair.
To fight hackers, maybe?
Yeah.
What kit?
Arch.
Go away. I don't.
Here.
What?
I left 2 diamonds and sticks.
Oh, I didn't know that. The most annoying thing is that, like, I think games are, I could be wrong, but I feel like games are longer now because, like, you have to wait for the borders to come all the way in. That never, like, you used to be able to skip that part because deathmatch would bring it in. I'm pretty stacked. No compass though, that's what matters.
So you're smart and actually keep your boats.
Yeah, I keep like 1 or 2. Hey. Actually, 2 is probably best because then you can keep going if they steal it.
Let's just hope this dude isn't a hacker.
Well, we have a lot of arrows. Do you know where he is?
No.
Oh, I found him. I will kill him. He got dropped. Good game. Like countries have official animals. Oh. Oh no, he escaped. Darn it. There's a guy with the iron chest plate who just... let him get away. That was kind of a mean thing for me to do. Watch out for
Moose is annoying as hell.
yeah, but he's not that good. I can kill him.
Yeah,
Probably.
he's easy, but he doesn't fight. He just runs.
Maybe I should pick horseman. Oh, that guy had an iron axe snipe. Wow. This guy has... oh, I'm resistant. He has the... you actually might have to legitimately end up teaming up resistant, to be completely honest. Although I'll try to kill skeletons.
I'm dead.
Wait, you are?
I was the first one to die.
I wasn't paying attention to in chat in the first few seconds of the game. Jeez, resistant. I can slowly try to kill skeletons. That might be a good strat. I am going to... last game I said I was going to win. This time I'm probably going to lose.
Behind you.
Oh no. Alternatively, you could... never mind. What? This guy has no spatial awareness. I don't get this. People who just chase. That's stupid. Do you see that? Oh, that was not smart. Yeah, that was very unintelligent. Can let the hacker kill an resistant, and then I can go down the hacker.
He left.
The hack? Oh. What is wrong with this game? Hackers just leaving on me like this? It's not allowed. Oh no, resistant killed another guy. One of the things that skeletons do is protect you from arrows. It's actually a counter. It's like a hard counter to Archer. Trevor, if I win this, you have to, like, I don't know, do the ice bucket challenge or something.
Okay. What if you lose it though?
Then nothing happens.
Then you do the ice bucket challenge.
Okay, I'll do it with one ice cube, okay? I'll just drop an ice cube on my head. Oh my god.
Soon he's starting to get.
He's probably gotten this challenge like so many times over. So because he is the crazy thing is that he chases and then he doesn't fight. That's the really wacky thing.
Yeah, it's annoying as hell.
At least you never lose to him because you can just run away always.
Unless he has like 5 archer skellies, which he does.
Do the bow archers do anything?
They shoot you.
He gets so offended when oh my god, it is shooting. Oh no. Oh, and Green Jake is dying. This sucks. Oh, he's alone. Musicid is alone. Got him.
Nice. God
Now you
damn
have to do the ice
it,
bucket
ice
challenge.
bucket challenge.
I did not think I was gonna win for a second. How long is a team ban?
Like, I think it would be about 12 hours.
Oh really? How do I report? He's gonna. Don't tell him he's gonna give up before he succeeds. It's so much work to report. I did this for like years.
And then just
Oh my
ignore
god.
you.
Mm. Oh.
People are so dumb.
Oh, that guy was dumb. I was AFK for a second, and instead of just going in and sorting, he got one bow shot. Like, that's not smart. And I'm archer too. Oh. Killed himself. Do we ever test whether or not the arrows work on like floating or glitched out
Yeah.
horse people?
They don't.
Oh. How do you know?
I can't
Like
remember
you'd have to
who
put
was
in
he
like
tried.
10 arrows to be sure, right?
No, they just don't hit them. They go through.
There. I feel like there's gotta be a way. Well, you get an ult and then kill them with the ult. I already suggested that. Although, this whole TNT thing to beat the skellies is like, that's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
I really should have beat him given he only had 2 left. It was just like, he wore me down. I should have been more aggressive from the beginning. That's like, should
They
have
have
like
like
myself.
they have so many hearts though.
Yeah, it's look. I mean, like I should have gone after him, and just ignored them. If I had just like bum rushed in, I think I could have done it. Oh, you killed him. Okay.
Ah.
Oh, there's an AFK guy who. Oh, nice.
I'll let you kill people that spawn. Oh god, a hacker.
What's his name?
And that dude,
Oh, that guy. Why don't you
Oh,
run away
he's
from
low.
people?
because he has speed.
Really? Oh, he's changed. He's evolved.
Also, I was at 2 hearts from a fight.
Uh-oh. This looks like death. Wait, there's water. My savior.
Follow him and yeah. Damn it.
And I have 7 arrows too. Or, no, 8 arrows, so. I don't know why. The more you use that, I can't. Like, the more you talk in chat, the more I feel like it's. I'm not very stacked. Have you ever gotten power 2?
No,
Neither have I. That'd be cool if you could.
I think it's disabled because it would be stupid OP.
That'd be cool though. Well, it shouldn't be disabled, it should require like 10 levels or something. That'd be.
I've had fire aspect too.
Yeah, me too. I think I've had both fire. I've had fire aspect 2 and sharpness 2 like on different weapons. I don't think.
Have you ever had sharp 2 die?
Yes.
It's so OP.
Okay, time to. No. On the way it goes. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I feel like that was not the right scenario. Bless.
Nice.
Jesus bless. God bless, actually. To be precise.
Oh yeah, because I'm so religious.
What's the stuff that the other guy has?
Iron helmet, chain chestplate, iron leggings, gold boots with a stone sword, no enchants. He doesn't have speed. Okay, he did earlier. Or I lagged back.
XD.
And the last dude's at mid, and this is an easy win.
I thought he had good stuff.
He literally has no chestplate, no leggings, with a wooden axe.
Oh, I guess I misheard you.
Oh, he got a stone axe.
It's a distant second, close second.
Okay.
Well, close to third. So yeah, let's do a quick listen. Okay, we should listen to the same song though.
Okay.
You give me one of your songs. I'm down. I'm down. It's pretty crunchy. Not bad. I find the bass a little bit more natural sounding on these.
Oh yeah, they do have a different signature,
A
but
little smoother.
I would say they're pretty similar.
Me too. Okay.
Withhold.
I find both of these lacking distinctly in completely different ways. I find vocals don't really come through very clearly on these.
No bass.
No bass.
Ironically, you would think that these would have the most overstated bass,
But it's not even like muddy and overpowered. It's
No.
just
there's just really nothing there. These ones I felt I detected a little bit of distortion.
I couldn't put my finger on it. They were clearly not as good as either the Sonys or the Bose, but I preferred them to the Beats.
I felt that these had a wider soundstage. These are a little narrower, a little tinier. But to be clear, I think for a lot of people, any one of these would be good enough.
I agree with that. I mean, given that most people are fine with like earpods, like truly,
The ones that just come with your headphone.
yes. I don't think anyone's going to pick up one of these for a few $100s and say, oh, well, the sound quality simply... I mean, you're buying them because they're wireless. You're buying them because they're noise canceling. And you're buying them because of the interface or the assistant or whatever other features it is that you care about. Which is why I think, honestly, when it comes time for the conclusion here, it's so much more complicated than just like which one sounds the best and is the most comfortable, because there's a lot to these. So why don't you do your rankings first?
For
and
sound?
then overall.
Overall,
Well, I mean, sound, I think we've got a pretty clear hierarchy, don't we?
once again, these two are clearly the best. If you're a more discerning listener, I'd go for either these, then these, then these.
Okay, you know what? I'll let you go first.
For the overall.
Overall.
The overall,
It's time for overall. It's time for the overall.
my overall ranking, the Bose. Number 2, the Sony. Number 3, and I really like this interface, but overall number 3, these. These are good. I would still buy these.
The noise canceling sucks.
True.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
Good enough for an office. Good enough for an office. They also don't fold. So on the go for a plane, definitely get these. Don't buy these ever.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say I'm not even gonna rank these two. So then between these two, I mean, really it comes down to physical buttons versus touch interface, but then USB Type-C,
Oh yeah, and the fast charging.
Sony,
There it is. You did it.
Sony.
You did it.
Don't even bother. Sony, or if you don't like the Sony, get the Bose, but I wouldn't even.
If you can, if they're beside each other at Best Buy, try them both.
Yeah.
Try them both. Do your research.
Pulseway is a real-time remote monitoring and management software that you can use to manage and monitor from one app your Windows, Mac, and Linux computers. You can get access to real-time status updates, system resources, logged-in users, network performance, Windows updates, and more. And you can even take remote control and fix problems on the go by sending commands from any mobile device. It even allows you to create and deploy custom scripts so you can automate your IT tasks. Try it out for free at pulseway.com. We're going to have that linked below. So thanks for watching, guys. If you disliked this video, you can hit that button. This was kind of a new format for us, though, so if you liked it, hit the like button. Let us know you liked it.
Okay, so we've seen a lot of things to deal with the idea of a sequence, right? So a sequence, just a collection of numbers in order going down more. Binary operation. That means by two. You need two things, and if you take two things, you can combine them with this operation and get something else, like 5 plus 3. And you can get 8. Not a big deal, not a big deal. Okay, now once you have the idea of 1 plus 1 equals 2, you can then start to generalize, and that's always sort of fun. In fact, you can sort of imagine, sitting there, fine wine and chlorophyll, sitting around and just saying, how about this? 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3, right? Okay, so that's pretty good. And then after a while, you get to the point where you say to yourself, all right, let's go for the gold, What is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, but keep going forever? Now this actually becomes a big problem, And let me show you why. See, on the one hand, you might say, well, look, 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's just, goes on forever, so that's, infinite or whatever. Don't even worry about that. Let's just think about the idea of this being a binary operation, an operation that works on two people. How do you go from the 2 people to the 3 people? Well, that's actually pretty much okay. What you do is you first just add these 2 people up, and then you take the answer, and then you combine this. So you can actually add as many numbers as you want as long as there's only finitely many of them, as long as there's only finitely many. But what happens if you have infinitely many terms? Then it turns out the definition of plus is sort of a problem, because you're
vibration pad. Those are vibration pads, so the power supply doesn't rattle around, make a lot of noise. It's not going to shock you. First, you have your rib strong bracelet on. You don't have to. Oh my God, this Tyler will hear right now. He would his pants.
Slide it in nice and easy until you have a snug fit, and then...
No, don't do that. You're going to shock and short circuit the power supply in pace.
Always be sure to try to place...
Hold on 1 second here. Go back.
Always be sure to
Wait.
try
Oh,
to...
look at that. You can tell there's no fan installed on the radiator. He just mounted the radiator before the fan. The fan cannot go on top of the case. This case does not support it that way. How are you gonna mount the fan later? I don't know. Then again, how am I even surprised at this point?
But in this case, no pun intended, it fits perfectly. So there's nothing special. About this screwing process, they're just really long screws because they go through the entire frame of the cooler.
He used the wrong screw. He should use the small one. Those wrong screw for when you have the fan on the same side. He's going to drill holes into the heatsink of the radiator. Oh my goodness. My family in China who made this product cringing so hard right now.
And they take forever.
They take forever because... Get up.
In this case, you need to match those cables with the correct descriptions on the power supply.
Typically, you want to put the cables in the power supply first. Some cases, very difficult to put it in after the fact. He got lucky. He has a nice case.
We're installing the CPU, the heart
scared.
of the computer or the brain, depending on how you look at it. So to do this, we're just going to remove the plastic covering that they put on the motherboard. We're just going to take this little plastic part out,
Don't break it.
toss that out of here,
Don't throw that away. That's
and
important.
now
You might
we
need
have
that
an
razor.
exposed CPU holder, or rather slot.
CPU holder or slot. It's called a socket, my friend. You don't put it in the socket. You put something else in the slot. But not a CPU. That's called a socket.
And we're going to use the CPU applicator. This is a special little part that not everyone may get, but this motherboard that we got from ASUS definitely does have. It's called
Who
the
the hell
CPU
uses
installation tool. It makes it really useful if you want to install a Core i7 hexa-core CPU. Yeah, we've got one, and it's an 8th generation chip.
Yeah,
And
we got one. Super exclusive. You can only buy it on every major retailer in the world.
so what having this little installer does for you is it's basically a brace that you can apply
Again, with the braces.
right to
He
the
rubbed his
CPU.
braces. What if you don't have the applicator? How do you install? You follow this guy. You have no idea how to
So we're,
install
about to apply,
CPU.
so we're about to apply thermal paste to the CPU.
Oh, God, I
Every
can't
CPU cooler actually comes with a bit of thermal paste already neatly applied in a circle around it, but it's usually not enough. It's good, essentially PC building practice to have a little bit extra
No.
and layer it on top
Oh,
of the
no.
CPU.
Oh, my God. What he do? It's a CPU. You're not icing a cake. Okay, it looks like a stop sign. Oh, my God. He used the whole tube or what?
So you're going to see that there are four
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. It looks like a Jackson Pollock painting. Oh, my...
physically come in contact with it, but basically keep it cool. Take thumb screws like this and just screw them on. So now that our internals are done, we're going to put all the panels back on, which is the top glass, side glass, front glass, and of course the back panel where all
Oh,
this
thank God it's done. Please,
So
no
we
more.
fully built the PC.
Oh, my
everything was
God.
put together,
Hold on.
and we
Go
got
back to
the
that
hardware.
cable management.
We fully built the PC.
What the f is that? You have such a good case. Your cable management looked like a spaghetti.
Everything's put together, and we got to the post screen. So what's next?
That's
Well, we
amazing.
need
That's the biggest surprise of all. He got to the post screen, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. This has to be the worst PC building video of all time. And I should know, I wrote a book on how to not build a PC. Very scary. Someone who built a PC for the first time might think this is a good video to follow, and their PC explode. They don't know the video bad because they disable the like and dislike and the comment. So much censorship. Here I come back in China. Please, if you make a tutorial, make sure you know how to do what you're trying to tell people to do. It's a simple concept. Why am I explaining? Jesus. Okay, I go now. I feel bad. I'm just in a bad mood. Go to drink my sorrow. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Kyle channel. Maybe I take over the channel someday. Who knows? You know. Stay sexy. Peace, motherfucker. Yeah. Let's break his refrigerator. Steal all the beer.
All right, we're at the Be Quiet Suite here at CES 2019, kicking things off right. I'm really excited, actually. We're doing things a little bit differently this year. First of all, they're showing off a brand new case, sort of brand new. It's the Dark Base 700, but like you've never seen it before, because as you can see, it's in white. And they actually have this case showing off here at their suite, but I haven't seen an actual completed system in it. So you can only just sort of get an idea. You kind of have to imagine the rest. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to bring our own suite of hardware and actually do a build inside of this brand new magnificent case for you guys to see what a finished product could potentially look like. So we've got some pretty good hardware in store. I say we just get started, and I'll just sort of talk about what I'm doing and where we're going with this build as we go about it. So you know what? Let's prep the motherboard first. You can see we've got an X399 Asus ROG Zenith Extreme, which means we're going Threadripper, baby. We'll be doing an Intel build later this week as well, so I figured I'd switch it up and show AMD some love. Yeah, we're doing a crazy build today. This is the 2970WX, 24-core, 48-thread CPU. No big deal. I haven't even unboxed this yet. This alone is worth its own unboxing video. AMD sent this to me. That was just for you guys. You get that one for free. AMD sent this to me, and I've been dying to get it open and just test it out and just do something with it. I just haven't had the time until now, which is crazy, because usually CES is the 1 week of the year where I have the least amount of time to do anything. This is all just working out beautifully. So I just unboxing. There was a whole team that was just devoted to what's the unboxing experience going to be.
It sucks.
I've said in the past that movie making is nothing but problem solving, and I want to give you an example of that, because with
all that good stuff before you get on the bar. Write your warm-up plan down, whether it's on a piece of paper or the notes in your phone. Have something written down that you can refer to. So if you get a little bit nervous and maybe you forget what you're supposed to do, you can refer to your plan and know every day you're supposed to take your phone. And if people are there to help load and spot in the warm-up room, you can tell them, this is the weight that I need next. An example warm-up for an athlete opening with, let's say, 140 kilo squat, 308 pounds. Usually on the platform is going to be kilos, but at a local meet, it's going to be fairly rare for there to be all kilos in the back room. So likely you're going to compete in kilos and warm up in pounds, but if you're watching this from another country, you'll probably be warming up in kilos as well. So that athlete looking to warm up and take their opener at 140 kilos, 308 pounds on the squat, they might do the bar for 10 to 20 reps, then just to loosen up, just kind of like loaded stretching. From there, 60 kilos or 135 pounds for a set of 5 to 8. Then from there, 85 kilos, 80 to 85 kilos would be a good next step, maybe 185 pounds. 3 to 5 reps with that. You go ahead and bump it up to 100 kilos, or maybe 225 pounds. Again, I know that these are not equivalent conversions. I'm just talking about practical numbers that you'd actually put on the bar, whether you're using kilos or pounds. So once you put 100 kilos or 225 pounds on there, 2 to 3 reps, and then 115 kilos, maybe 255 pounds, a single there, a single at 130 kilos or 285 pounds, then you should be pretty ready to take your opener. You're going to want to be taking your opener depending on how strong you are, maybe on the short end, 5 to 7 minutes before your opening attempt, and on the farther end, maybe as long as 15, maybe even 20 minutes before your opening attempt. Another good suggestion would be to take that last warm-up, or maybe the last 2 warm-ups, with the commands. That's going to be the next thing we want to talk about, the rules and commands at a powerlifting meet. The commands and rules for a powerlifting meet are pretty simple, and hopefully the meet you're at, they're going to have a rules briefing about 15 to 30 minutes before the meet actually begins. Go to the rules meeting. Pay attention. If you're confused, ask them questions. I'm going to give you the best advice I can here in this video, but the rules at your meet might be a little bit different than the ones that I talk about here, depending on different federations. So pay attention at the rules briefing. Ask the judges if you have any questions. That's what they're there for, to answer your questions, to help you have the best day that you can. In the squat, typically you're going to have two commands, squat command and a rack command. The squat command is going to be after you unrack the weight, walk it out or unrack it from the mono, and show that you have control of the weight. And usually if you kind of bring your head up and acknowledge the judge, you'll then get a squat command. There, the lift starts, there's no up command. I repeat, there is no up command. You just squat on your own. And then you have to show control at the top once the squat is complete, and then you'll get a rack command, and the spotters are allowed to help you back into the rack. But there's two commands in the squat, squat and rack. In the bench press, again, this will vary by federation, but at most you're going to have three commands. You're going to get a start, press, and rack command. Start command is going to happen after you take the bar to the rack and control it at arm's length, fully locked out. You bring the bar down to your chest, the bar is motionless on your chest, you'll get a press command. Press commands are going to vary a little bit by federation, but the more quickly that you can bring the bar to a total stop on your chest, you'll get that press command. Finally, after you complete the press, you hold the bar and show control at the top, again, fully locked out, you'll get a rack command and then bring the bar back into the rack right there. Even me, at my first powerlifting meet, I jumped the rack command on my first attempt. Luckily, I actually met the rack command. I was racking the bar with no thought to the rack command. It just so happened that he basically said it at the exact same time that I began racking it, so I got a little bit lucky. So now, everyone messes up the commands here and there, but focus on them, practice them, take your last warm-up with the full commands. In the bench press, depending on the federation you compete in, you may have a different situation with the lift-off. In some federations, your buddy, your training partner, your coach can come in, give you the lift-off. In the USAPL, you're normally going to have a designated lift-off person who does handoffs for everyone throughout the meet. If that's the case, just make sure to communicate with them clearly how you count down before you want the bar rack, how you want your handoff. Just be clear and concise about that. They're there to help you out. The deadlift commands, pretty simple. Pull the deadlift, hold it at lockout until the head judge gives you a down command, then control the bar to the floor. You don't need to set it down like you're, as lightly as possible, but you have to control the bar. You have to keep your hands on the bar all the way to the floor. You definitely don't want to miss a deadlift because you end up dropping the bar even though you were able to hold onto it. So get the down command, control the bar to the floor. In regards to eating and drinking throughout the meet, depending on the federation, the size of the meet, your session is probably going to last anywhere from on the short end, 3 hours, to I've had meets where I pulled my last deadlift of the meet close to 10 or 11 hours after I began warming up for the squat. So you got to sort of take that into account, but USPA, USAPL tend to run very strict, quick-paced meets. So on those, you'll probably be looking at 3, maybe on the long end, 5 hours to complete the meet. So you're going to want to take in some more calories and definitely some more hydration throughout the day. Similar types of foods that we talked about eating post-weigh-in, what you're going to want to stay eating and drinking throughout the day. Again, that's simple, easy to digest carbs that are going to give you fast energy. You don't want heavy foods sitting in your stomach. You want that glucose getting out into the bloodstream, providing you energy to complete your max lifts. Hydrating with water, Gatorade, Pedialyte, coconut water, Grind Sports Nutrition Drive. All good options for intra-meet hydration. Again, you don't need to be gorging yourself. You're only doing 9 reps that matter, so don't go eating way more than you normally would before training during a long, hard training session, because you don't want to feel heavy, especially for the deadlift, because you don't want to become a viral video of projectile vomiting onto the head judge. So we've talked about how to warm up for the squat. Warming up for the bench and deadlift might differ a little bit from how you warm up for the squat or how you may regularly warm up during training. Unless you train all 3 lifts during the course of a regular training session, the strategy can change a little bit. So the bench and the deadlift are generally shorter than the warm-up for the squat, because the warm-up for the squat is also just the general warm-up for the day. In the bench press, of course, the warm-up could be shorter because unless you bench and squat the same, which hopefully you don't, the bench press weights are just lighter, so it won't take as many sets to get ready for your opener. Again, you want to take at least 1 warm-up set with the full set of commands, just so you can practice that and be ready and just take away a little bit of nerves as you get on the platform. An example warm-up for an athlete looking to open with a 110 kilo bench press, 242 pounds, might be the bar for 15 to 20 reps. I like to go through various different grips during my warm-up there just to get a nice full range of motion. Then I might go to 40 kilos or 95 pounds for a set of 5, then maybe jump to 60 kilos or 135 pounds for another set of 3 to 5, then go to 80, 85 kilos, 185 pounds for a set of 2 to 3, then to 92.5 kilos or 205 pounds for 1 or 2 reps, and then finally 100 or 102 kilos or 225 pounds for 1 single with the commands. That would be an example for someone looking to open about 110 kilos, 242 pounds. In the deadlift, much shorter warm-ups than you'd use in training are generally appropriate. Because you've already squatted and benched for the day, your body, your nervous system is warm. So all you need to do with the deadlift is really warm up the specific movement, and you don't want to be taking away energy. Powerlifting meet can be a long day. It can be pretty exhausting. So you don't want to waste energy in the warm-up room that you could be using on the platform. So I usually condense a deadlift warm-up much more in competition than what I would do regularly in training. We have someone who's looking to open their deadlift about 180 kilos, 396 pounds. A warm-up that I would suggest would be 60 kilos or 135 pounds, which is 1 plate for 3 to 5 reps. If you feel like you need extra sets to get to be able to get into effective positions, do them at that very light weight so you're not tiring yourself out. So if you do multiple sets of 3 to 5 with 135 pounds on the bar, that's fine. From there, they'd want to jump up to maybe 100 kilos, 225 pounds, do a set of 2 or 3 there, and beyond that, it's just going to be singles. If you're looking to open at 180 kilos, 396 pounds, a good jump from 100 or 225 would be up to maybe 130 kilos or 295 pounds, and then you go up 160 kilos, 350 pounds, that range for another single, and then go ahead and take your opening attempt in the deadlift. Now we're on to picking your next attempts. We talked about how to select your strength training for powerlifting or weightlifting, but probably not the best decision if you're looking to compete in one of the other sports, or if you have a specific competition date in mind. It's just a more general, continuous programming. Team programming is our favorite option. Team programming gives you programming tailored to your size, strength, gender, experience, and goals, control over the timing of the training relative to your competition, and access to our team of coaches for video review. One-on-one programming is going to be your best bet if you need very personalized attention based on a unique competition schedule, injury history, or if you're just looking to make sure that everything is built as specifically as possible to you. So we have 3 different levels of programming, and one of them is definitely going to be a great fit for you to help you improve in powerlifting or weightlifting.
Hey everyone, I'm making this video for those of you preparing for your first powerlifting meet. You're probably going to be
nervous as fuck.
So hopefully this video answers some of your questions, clears up any confusion, and maybe puts your mind at ease a little bit.
Test your strength abilities against your peers in wholesome competition. This film is an introduction to powerlifting.
Powerlifting is a sport in which the contested lifts are the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift. Not to be confused with Olympic weightlifting, which tests the snatch and the clean and jerk. Here in the United States, there are 2 popular federations, USAPL and USPA. There are a few differences between the 2, the main ones being the equipment used. One uses a squat bar, another uses a standard powerlifting bar. One uses a deadlift bar, another uses a standard powerlifting bar. One enforces drug tests, another doesn't. Although I think USPA has a tested federation now, but whatever. Personally, I don't care. Plus some other small rules, like one lets you lift your head off the bench, another doesn't. One requires that your feet are flat on the ground during the bench press, another allows you to lift up your heels. Refer to your federation's website for a full list of rules. You are going to have to purchase a membership for your federation if you want to compete. Kind of like needing a Blockbuster card to rent movies. Remember those things? You will also need to fill out an entry form and pay the entry fee. When you fill out your entry form, you're going to have to provide some information like your weight class in kilograms. The numbers for each weight class are the top limit of that weight class. So if you were 96 kilograms, you would be competing in the 105 kilo weight class because you are over the 93 kilo limit. You are also going to decide what events you'll be doing. Most likely full power or powerlifting, which means you want to test your squat, bench press, and deadlift. Other options include push-pull, which means you only want to test your bench press and deadlift, no squat. You can also do bench only or deadlift only. And you will also need to select your division, which again, for most of you, will probably be raw, which means you are allowed to wear a belt and neoprene knee sleeves. You don't have to, but you can if you choose to. You can also wear wrist wraps. Classic raw means you will wear a belt and knee wraps. Geared lifting means you're wearing a single ply or multi-ply squat suit, bench shirt, and or deadlift suit. I'm assuming if this is your first powerlifting meet, you're not doing this. All of these divisions are scored separately, so as a raw lifter, you will not be competing against someone wearing a squat suit. But again, if you're watching this, you probably don't need to know all this, but it might clear up some confusion at your first meet. Next, checking in. Some federations allow you to weigh in 24 hours in advance. Some federations only allow a 2-hour weigh-in. Everyone has to weigh in, even if you're 100 pounds over the heaviest weight class. Be prepared to strip down to your underwear when you weigh in, even if you are not trying to cut weight. Rules is rules. After stripping down, you will have to get your gear checked. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Your powerlifting gear, never mind. Anything you wear in a competition needs to be approved. This means knee sleeves, wrist wraps, your belt, a cotton t-shirt. Sometimes they want to check your underwear. You have to wear legless underwear, so briefs, whitey-tighties, granny panties. And you have to wear shoes of some kind. You can't lift barefoot. And the crowd favorite, you have to wear a singlet. After weighing in and getting your gear checked, you're going to need to give your openers. First attempt squat, first attempt bench press, first attempt deadlift. This is going to be in kilos, so for those of you in the United States, figure it out. You don't have to give your second attempts until after your first, and you don't have to give your third attempts until after your second. More on this later. Finally, you will have to give your rack height for the squat and the bench press. I prefer the bar to be about mid-sternum for the squat, so that when the bar is on my back in the low bar position, I only have to lock out my knees to clear the J-hooks. For the bench press, I set up to the bar so that my eyes are directly below the bar. And for me, I like the bar to be just below my wrist height when my arms are locked out, so that I only need to extend my elbows to clear the J-hooks. You have 3 attempts for each lift. Your best successful attempt will be the only attempt that counts towards your total. So if you successfully lift 100 kilos, 105 kilos, and 110 kilos, the 110 kilo attempt will be added to your total. If you fail 110 kilos, your 105 kilo attempt will be added to your total. Your 3 attempts for the squat are not added together towards your total. Only your best lift counts. Now, if you fail your second attempt, for example, you can choose to try again on your third attempt. Or you can jump up and wait for your third. This does happen if people miss an attempt because of something other than strength, like not following commands. So if your best attempts were 150, 100, and 200, you would have a 450 kilo total. Adam Paul needs to work on his bench press. There are 3 judges for each lift, a head judge and 2 side judges. They are there to ensure you perform the movement within their rules and standards. Once the weight is loaded on the bar, you will hear, "Platform ready," at which time a 60-second clock will start. You have 60 seconds to get under the bar and unrack it. Once you unrack the bar, you will step back and get set. When you are done moving and the bar is motionless, you will hear the command, "Squat." It's on you to squat down and stand back up. Once you have stood up and the bar is motionless, you will hear the command, "Rack." The judges are looking for a number of things when judging the squat, but most important is depth. Also, you can't move your feet, no downward motion of the bar, lock out at the start, lock out at the finish, kind of obvious stuff. If you have successfully performed the lift, you will receive 3 white lights. If a judge does not think you successfully completed the lift, he or she will give you a red light. 1 red light and 2 white lights is still a successful attempt. 2 red lights or 3 red lights is a missed lift. For the bench press, you will have 60 seconds to get set up and unrack the bar. Once your elbows are locked out and the bar is motionless, you will hear the command, "Start," at which time you can lower the bar to your chest. You have to pause the weight on your chest, and once the bar becomes motionless, not to be confused with just touching your chest, it has to become motionless, you will get the command, "Press," at which time you will press and lock the weight out. Once the bar is motionless at the top, you will get the command, "Rack." The judges are there to make sure your butt doesn't leave the bench. No downward motion of the bar, your feet don't move, you didn't jump the commands, stuff like that. And finally, the deadlift. The only command you will have to wait for is the down command at the top of the lift. The judges are making sure there's no downward motion of the bar before you get the down command,